What's up, guys? So I thought it would be important to tell my story a little bit about how I got started on my health and fitness journey and when it started, where I went from there, and all things considered. So I really started my health and fitness journey, or lifting weights, exercising regularly. I think it was in 7th or 8th grade. I actually got into a fight, I think I don't know, the playground or something, and I was sent home from school, and I remember doing dumbbell curls that night. I think it was one of my uncles showed me how to do a dumbbell curl, and from there I started doing dumbbell curls. I don't know if it was daily, but it was probably 7th grade actually. And I remember going to the gym by myself. Again, it could have been 7th or 8th grade. Those people that see this that are from Bayville, which is where I grew up, it was when the gym was next to the seafood restaurant. So Pavilions will know that. That's how long ago it was. From there, I was always played sports, football, wrestling, lacrosse in high school and middle school and a little bit earlier than that. And so I was always active. I always played sports. In high school, I always did, I guess, a little bit of maybe weightlifting, but it was after my sophomore year of wrestling. I remember pretty much one of my coaches telling me, "Look, dude, you got to get stronger. You're weak." So I really, really worked very hard for that year or that off season. I was working out during my lunch period. I remember, so this was sophomore year, at the end of sophomore year. And so I'd eat lunch for about 15 minutes or so, and then I would go into I think at that time the weight room was in the gym, but I would go lift weights for the remaining half hour, 2 to 3 days a week. And I would also lift weights before, at that time it was lacrosse practice because it was after wrestling season. So anyways, started in high school lifting weights, wrestled. That was like my main sport, and I started to get interested in nutrition after my junior year of wrestling because I lost so much weight that my performance just at the end of the year was just not there. I had lost about 30 pounds throughout the year, and when you're 138 pounds, 30 pounds, or maybe not quite 30, but around 30, 25 pounds is huge. And so I started to get interested in nutrition then. I went to college, was studying to be a phys ed teacher. Dropped out of college for the first year, failed out, dropped out, all the above, didn't go to class. And then I decided to focus on nutrition, and I was wrestling at Nassau Community College at the time. And, again, so it had a weight loss component to it. I was working at the YMCA in Glen Cove, and that's really where my nutrition background or weightlifting background started. So I was training clients in training kids, working in the gym, wrestling still. Started to work at a GNC, General Nutrition Center supplement shop. Worked there for 6 years as I continued to go to school, and graduated in that time with my bachelor's degree. Was working out every single day. At that point, got my CrossFit Level 1 in 2008. Did an internship at the IMG Performance Institute in Florida, where I was in charge of, I was one of the nutrition coaches and performance coaches, working closely with the weightlifting staff and the performance staff. I was working very closely with the athletes that were there for the NFL Combine to train. So I was with them at every single meal. I was with them at their training sessions, making sure they were hydrated, supplementation, things like that. At that same time, we were working with really young children, older people that were there for tennis camps, weekend camps, and academies. So got a ton of experience working with athletes at the very, very highest level, and then also young athletes that were aspiring to be on a certain level. After that, I came home and it was time to open a gym, or we opened a gym. And it started out as a hobby, and like anything else, if you want to do it the right way, you need to obviously put everything you have into it, and really dedicate your energy, effort, and I love this stuff, and so I stopped everything else that I was doing, put all my energy and effort into professionally running the gym and making it the best that I possibly could. And over the last 7.5 years, that's gotten me to where I am now. So here, 7.5 years later, we have nutrition programs, we have physical therapy programs, we have programs where we get people out of pain, group classes, teen classes, kids classes. What other classes do we have? Classes all day, 5 a.m. at night. Staff of about 7 or 8 other coaches. But yeah, so in a nutshell, my story started, as a lot of people who are in the health and fitness industry probably have. As an athlete, I competed in a sport that had a weight loss and dieting component to it in wrestling, and then I boxed also for 5 years after that. So I was always losing weight and sometimes sacrificing my performance because I didn't know what I was doing, so I was educating myself there, and that's really how I got into the nutrition background and how I got started really being interested in it once I saw how much it did matter and affected my performance and those around me. And now my main focus and my main passion is helping people create healthier lifestyle and fighting chronic disease, obesity, just feeling better, happier through exercise and nutrition coaching. And in my opinion, it's so underutilized, where people don't realize how big of an effect it can have on their lives overall, and not just in being healthy or looking good, but also just being more productive. And for me, it's stress relief, it's anxiety relief, and I just love it, and just grateful to be able to do what I love every day. So that's a little bit about my story. I wanted to share that with you guys. Have a great day.